Is this your ticket to an endless income? The number one investment has been silver, gold number 2, and interest rates number 3. Look at this. Here is a silver, see that silver dollar bill, silver certificate. Our money was backed by silver at one time. Is that where we're going again? Look on the back and of a current dollar, and you'll see this word. ANNU means annual or perpetual. IT means stipend or blessing. So it's a 2,000-year-old Latin word that means annual income. Today I'm going to go over the National Association of Insurance Commissioners Buyer's Guide with appendix. And in that appendix is a secret word that was omitted from then on, from 2007 on. And you're really going to enjoy discovering this. This guide was created by insurance regulators to help consumers understand how annuities work, including the benefits, limitations, and the trade-offs. This is not a sales presentation. It is, there's no products being sold and nothing for you to buy. The goal is simple: education. So by the end of this video, you should have a much clearer understanding of what annuities are, how they work, and what questions to ask. I would like for you to follow along, so if you could, download the NAIC Buyer's Guide from their website or the description below. Let's get started. First off, this is a newer Buyer's Guide. I'm going to go over in another video where that secret word was omitted. You're about to discover that. And they no longer use it. So now we're going back in time to the NAIC Buyer's Guide from 2007 with that word that was dropped. And first off, I'm going to go through the first part of the Buyer's Guide real quick and then to the appendix, because that's the fun part. What is an annuity? Only an annuity that can pay an income that can be guaranteed to last as long as you live. Only an annuity. Nothing else in the United States can pay an income that can be guaranteed to last as long as you live. That word guaranteed is very serious. What are, and highly regulated. What are the different kinds of annuities? There are single premium or multiple premium annuities. The word premium means insurance. You have car insurance premium, health insurance premium, life insurance premium. So the dollars you put into an annuity are called premium. And there are single premium, which means you can put in one time, never again. And there's modified single premium, means you can add in during the first year. Flexible premium means you can add dollars anytime you like. And after the surrender charge period, that's when the word flexible is really valuable, because now you have 100% liquid annuity for the rest of your life, and you can add dollars in and take dollars out. It's flexible premium. Very valuable. Now, let's go over the next page, the surrender charges. That's actually the best part about an annuity, because surrender charges or withdrawal charges are what allows the insurance company to use that very serious word guaranteed in a contract with you. And the best part about fixed index annuities and their surrender charges or fixed index annuities is that the surrender charge is a known factor, and it declines and disappears over time. So you know exactly what you can get out with in year 3 or in 5. You know exactly to the penny ahead of time what you can get out with. Now let's go to page 5. That shows the definition of the word and all the ways you can use it. So the word annuity means annual income. There's about 15 different ways to receive the definition of annual income inside of one contract. So if you have an annuity, go to the middle of it, look in the middle, and look for settlement options and payment options, and you'll see all these different ways of receiving income. Now, at the back of the first half of the Buyer's Guide are questions you should ask when buying and shopping for an annuity. Here's one, for example. Do I want a fixed annuity with a guaranteed interest rate or little or no risk of losing principal? What is a single premium, or is this a single premium or multiple premium? Now the Buyer's Guide. This is the best part. You're really going to enjoy this. What are indexed annuities? That secret word was dropped by the insurance commissioners in 2007, and every word in this is 100% relevant since then. But the reason I'm going over this guide with you, this particular one, is they had to explain that an indexed annuity is a fixed annuity. So there is no such thing as a hybrid annuity. There is no in between. There's only two kinds. Like the first part of the buyer's guide said, there are fixed and variable. Fixed means fastened with guarantees, and variable means the dollars can vary up and down. So an indexed annuity is a fixed annuity, either immediate, meaning income now, or deferred, income later, that earns interest, means it's an interest rate vehicle, or provides benefits that are linked to an external reference. Most commonly is the S&P 500. When you buy an index annuity, you own an insurance contract. You're not buying shares of any stock or index. How are they different from other fixed annuities? They're different from other fixed annuities because of the way they credit interest to your annuity's value. Index annuities credit interest using a formula based on the changes in the index to which the annuity is linked. The formula decides, you're about to learn some formulas, really cool. So all you engineers out there, hang on with me. The formula decides how additional interest, if any, is calculated and credited. How much additional interest you get and when you get it depends on the features of your particular annuity. Your index annuity, like other fixed annuities, also promises to pay a minimum guaranteed interest. There are two interest rates in annuities. There's a current rate and a fixed rate. The current rate is what your annuity is paying, and the minimum guaranteed rate is set by state law. I'll explain that, and it goes in with the formula in just a moment. But first off, let's look at the different indexing methods the insurance commissioners refer to. The main one is called annual reset, and they give an opinion about that here in just a moment. They also use the analogy of a socket wrench. They call it ratcheting, so they really do work like a socket wrench. There's three ways to make interest in a fixed index annuity: a participation rate, a cap rate, and a margin spread or administrative fee of the interest only. So there's only three ways to make interest. I'm going to go over those: a participation rate, a cap rate, and a margin spread or administrative fee of the interest. Can you see that? I hope you can. I'm holding it up here because if I go over here, anyway, you're really going to enjoy this part too. But first, let me show you the annual reset and how the 0% floor works. So let's say the index goes up and you make a participation rate, a cap, or a margin or administrative fee. And let's say you make 8%, that's locked in, vested, can't be taken away. Now it resets annually, and let's say the index goes down. The index is crashing, it goes down all year. All of what you made before is locked in, vested, can't be taken away, and reset here at the bottom. Now you compound and start all over from the bottom up. Annual reset, ratcheting, really does work like a socket wrench. You crank the bolt tight, you make interest, and when you pull the handle back, the market goes down, you're not changing the bolt, you're not moving the bolt. It's fixed, it is fastened. Now the three ways to make interest are participation rate. The participation rate decides how much of the increase in the index will be used to credit your interest. For example, if the calculated change in the index is 9% and your participation rate is 70%, your interest rate for your annuity will be 6.3. Some annuities, notice the word some, annuities may put an upper limit or a cap. In this example above, the cap in a cap rate, the cap is 6%, so you'd make 6, not 6.3 as in above. Margin spread or administrative fee. In some annuities, the index-linked interest is computed by subtracting a specific percentage from any calculated change in the index. This percentage, sometimes referred to as a margin, spread, or administrative fee, might be instead of or in addition to a participation rate. For example, if the calculated changes in the index is 10% and your annuity might specify 2.25 will be subtracted from the rate to determine the interest rate credited. In this example, the rate would be 7.75. So if the index goes up by 10% and you have 2.25% margin spread or admin fee subtracted from the 10, your interest is 7.75. In this example, the company subtracts the percentage only if the change in the index produces a positive interest rate. So it's not a margin spread or administrative fee of principal or premium or original dollars. It is a computation to determine an interest rate credited to the annuity. Now back up here at the floor. So when the index goes down, let me read this to you. The floor is the minimum index-linked interest rate you will earn. The most common floor is 0%. A 0% floor assures that even if the index decreases in value, the index-linked interest rate that you will earn will be 0 and not negative. And look at what the insurance commissioners say. In all cases, that means in all 50 states, your fixed annuity will have a minimum guaranteed value. So let's say you bought here at the top of the market and you linked it to the S&P 500 and then you died here 1 year later where the market is below where your anniversary date was. Well, the insurance company is not allowed to pay 0. The state minimum guaranteed rate kicks in. So on your statement it may show 0, but at death or surrender they have to pay the greater of the two. The interest you've earned or the minimum guaranteed rate set by state law. Now, vesting, you want to make sure your rates are vested. Let's look and see how monthly, annual point to point. Let's say the S&P is here, it goes down all year and finishes the year up above where your anniversary date began. Point to point, they take the difference between these 2 points and pay you an interest rate based on a participation rate, usually 70 or 80%, or a cap rate of 6 or 8%, and a spread that might be deducted of 3%, all equaling about the same. Now let's look at monthly averaging. Let me read this to you. This is the chart for monthly averaging. Averaging at the beginning of a term protects you from buying your annuity at a high point, which would reduce the amount of interest you might earn. Averaging at the end of a term protects you against severe declines in the index and losing interest-linked interest rate as a result. On the other hand, averaging may reduce the amount of interest-linked interest you earn when the index rises near the start or at the end of the term. Let me show you how that works visually. So your anniversary date is, say, March the 1st. Well, on the 1st of each month, you write down where the S&P 500 is on that day. I need a drink of water. You write down where the S&P 500 is on that day, and then at the end of the year, you have 12 figures written down. You add them up, divide by 12. You add them up, divide by 12, and you have an average. And that's how you can get a positive gain out of a sideways market. So, and if monthly averaging occurred here, you would get no gain because all the months are down. That's why I'm showing the contrast. On annual point to point, and the index is down all year but shoots straight up over to the right-hand side, monthly averaging would pay you nothing, but annual point to point would. In this example, annual point to point would pay you 0 because from point to point, there's no gain. Monthly averaging could give you a positive return. There are several questions you should ask, like I'm on the last page, 16. What is the participation rate? For how long is the participation rate? And what is the minimum guaranteed participation rate? Remember, there's always 2 rates. There's the current rate and the minimum rate that the insurance company can drop down to with their caps and their margins or spreads and administrative fees and their participation rates. They can change those, and they have a minimum contractually guaranteed figure. And then you have a state minimum guaranteed rate controlled by your insurance commissioner. No insurance company is allowed to pay 0 to your beneficiaries or when you cash out. So after You go through this guide and have all the questions to ask. Oh, update. 2016 update. I shouldn't date this video. You get this guide and you go ask artificial intelligence these questions. An amazing tool. Yeah. So you got Gemini, ChatGPT, and Grok. Go ask these questions and help it find you the best answers. Way smarter than me, and I've been in the business 44 years, and I'm only 64. So remember to read your annuity contract carefully when you receive it and ask your agent or the insurance company to explain anything you don't understand. If you have specific complaint or can't get answers you need from the agent or the company, contact your state insurance commissioner. And one more thing, one secret. You can ask an agent to provide you a sample policy before you even buy it. That is law. If you ask it, they have to supply it. That's a secret revealed right here at the last minute. So go below in the description, download your buyer's guide. I'm Jeff McLeod. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.